Hey everyone. So we're gonna look at the AFC side. I got the Bills beating the Broncos. I got the Patriots probably beating the Bills this week, tomorrow on Sunday, today, because the Bills are negative 1,400, and this game's gonna be kind of close. So Patriots upsetting the Bills kind of makes sense for them to go 13-4 by the end of the season. I just don't like that money line. Negative 1,400, I don't like that money line. And if the Bills do end up winning, then okay. But the Bills losing that week would actually lock the Chiefs to get the number 1 seed. So that would make a lot of sense here. And I got this game being Broncos versus Bills. I had other decoders think it's going to be Bengals sneaking in. I don't see Bengals sneaking in because Bills versus Broncos makes a lot more sense in the wild card. There's been a O.J. Simpson ritual because O.J. Simpson had been sacrificed early in the year. On April 10th, he died in Las Vegas. He drove the white Bronco back in June 17th. So you will understand why I see this being Bills versus Broncos. And then I got the Chargers, but I want the Chargers to face the Ravens here, but not Texans versus Ravens again. Unless Ravens versus Chargers could happen in the divisional round, I guess. Because it just makes more sense if it was Raven versus Chargers again, which is called the Brothers Bowl, which makes a lot of sense. I see the Steelers facing the Texans. So I'm kind of trying to, basically see what kind of game Steelers will have to win. I'm just kind of looking here really quick. Yeah, I got the Steelers beating the Bengals, which they will go 12-5. The Texans going 10-7 makes a lot of sense because I have them beating the Titans. And the Ravens going 11-5 makes a lot of sense as well. Did I choose the Ravens up here? Oh, yeah, I got the Ravens beating the Browns. Going 12-5 as well, just like the Steelers. But I just want it to be Chargers versus Ravens here. I'm trying to learn how to do this. I did this a while back, but this seems a little bit tricky. If I do Patriots beating the Chargers, would the Chargers drop a little bit? Okay. But I kind of have the Chargers beating the Patriots here. So, Chargers beating the Raiders, going 11-6. And maybe Chargers losing to the Patriots. It's still the same thing. Okay. Well, so, yeah, I got the Chargers probably going 11-6. But I just have them facing the Ravens, though, not the Texans. I just don't know fully how this works. Maybe. But, yeah, so this is my AFC playoff bracket. For the AFC, I got the Chiefs locking up the number 1 seed, going 15-2 by the end of the season, like Patrick Mahomes equals 152. Then I got the Denver Broncos going 9-8, facing the Buffalo Bills. And this is easy. You know who's going to win this game. It's going to be the Bills, obviously. But this is going to be an O.J. Simpson ritual. So this is what I see happening. And then I definitely see Chargers versus Ravens in the wild card. But if it ends up being Chargers versus Steelers, there's a good chance the Chargers will win this game. Or the Steelers win this game. I would probably say this game might be a little bit tricky. Chargers versus Steelers will be very tricky. And obviously the Ravens will probably beat the Texans. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans win because the Lamar Jackson is 2-4 in the wild card right now. 2-4 in the playoffs all time. He can drop 2-5 like in the year 2025. So it's a good thing. It's a good, like I said, I think I have a good chance that the Texans will upset the Ravens. And then the Texans can face whoever faces the lowest seed. The person who faced the lowest seed is the Chiefs. So if the Chargers win, the Chiefs will face the Chargers. If the Steelers win, the Texans will face the Chiefs again in the playoffs. But I have Chiefs versus Texans in the divisional round, which makes a lot of sense. So it makes a lot of sense. The Steelers beat the Chargers, and the Ravens lose to the Texans. Both brothers lose. Wouldn't that be funny? But I see Chargers-Ravens being the matchup, though, in the wild card. But I just don't know how this works. But I definitely see the Bills winning. This is an easy game. Bills are beating the Broncos. This is very easy. I would take the Bills' money line if I were you to beat the Broncos. And I would probably say Steelers will beat the Chargers here. Just because I have the Texans facing the Chiefs in the divisional round. So the Texans upsetting the Ravens would be amazing. But the Ravens are kind of a powerful team. They might want to push the Ravens a little bit. See, you know what's funny? If the Ravens beat the Texans, the Steelers beat the Chargers, the Chiefs will face the Ravens. Which will be a very good matchup in the divisional round, but I don't see that happening. I see it being Chiefs versus Texans. Steelers beating the Chargers. Bills beating the Broncos. So I would probably say a lot of home team wins. And a lot of road teams lose. And that's my wild card pick. And I will move on later in the future who I have my divisional round. But you probably already know. Chiefs versus Texans. And then it's going to be Bills versus Steelers. And then my AFC championship is going to be Chiefs versus Bills. I will explain that a little bit later on in my future video. I looked at two of these teams that have the strongest numbers to make the Super Bowl is between the Chiefs and the Bills. Look at my Super Bowl pick on Patreon, who I have for the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl. You can look up on there. I'm not going to tell you who's going to make the Super Bowl, because you just check it out on my Patreon. I have it right there. But my AFC championship matchup right now is going to be Chiefs versus Bills. But if something changes, I might see something a little bit differently. But right now, Bills versus Broncos is going to happen. This is an O.J. Simpson ritual. Bengals are not sneaking in like a lot of people think they will. No, they're not going to sneak in. O.J. Simpson drove a white Bronco. Why would the Bills and Broncos not happen? This is obviously a O.J. Simpson ritual. And they sacrificed him early in the year. So that's what I see happening.